Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Inside Battlefield. Today we're already at episode 6. My name is Tom, community manager here at DICE, and today we're talking season 4, which is going live tomorrow. Very exciting. So with me are Alexia, Jaime, and Alex. So folks, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hello, I am Alexia. So I am a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and I can speak 10 languages.
That is completely true, obviously. Not a lie at all. Cool.
No, none of that is true.
None of that.
Would you like me to try again?
Yes.
Hi, so I'm Alexia. You might recognise my voice from such things as season 2, 3 and soon to be 4 development update videos. I am a producer at DICE and I'm responsible for all things kind of engagement. So progression, battle pass, the store, all that fun stuff that isn't directly in the game. Well, it's in the game, but not in the matches I look after.
You make the XP and fun happen.
Yeah, I make the XP physically.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaime de la Puente, a game designer at EA DICE, mainly focused on specialists and gadgets. And a quick example of what I do, I had the opportunity to work on Rashid Shine's gadget, the Airbus Launcher XM370A for the Season 3. And I have to say that I had a lot of fun watching all of your clips out there and provided by the community. Really cool to show off those kills.
And me, it's Alex. I'm back. I'm your local weapons overlord. I might or might not be zip tied to my chair. And I'm here again because someone, I'm not going to say names, but it was Ali, had to be here in my place. So here we go.
So welcome, folks. This is the first time we have 3 people on the podcast, which is exciting. So shout out to Ollie, who was supposed to be here today, but is taking a well-deserved vacation. And he's been asking me continuously if I can do a shout out to the Characters and Gadgets team. So Ali, if you're listening, shout out to the Characters and Gadgets team, especially for you. So let's take a quick look at what's coming in Season 4. So we've already announced it, so most of you probably already know, but we've got a new map, Flashpoint, new specialist, Camila Blasco, a new vehicle, the CAV-Brawler, a bunch of new weapons, which Alex will be very excited to talk about later as our weapons overlord, the AC-9 SMG, RM-68 assault rifle, RPT-31 LMG, and our first secondary shotgun, Super 500.
And
super
the
exciting.
Open gadget, the sticky.
And the sticky launcher, our new explosive launcher, which
For the assault class.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one to talk about as well. New vault weapons, new battle pass, which Alexia can talk us through. Gang, what are you looking forward to the most in Season 4? Let's start with you, Alexia.
Sure. So I'm quite excited about the secondary shotty. It's I love shotguns anyway, and I quite regularly run out of ammo because I spray bullets everywhere, not very well. So I'm quite excited to have something that I can just take out super quickly and take people out with.
Yeah, in my case, maybe I'm a little bit biased here because Camila Blasco is also Spanish, just like me as well. So, but also because it's gonna be a great specialist in order to counter pikes, scan, Boris, sentry turrets. So yeah, this is gonna be cool for all that people that want to stop getting spotted and scanned by those other recons. And well, Boris is an engineer, but pretty cool.
Cool. And Alex, I think you spoiled on the weapons episode that your favorite weapon was in this season. So I think this is the time where you can tell us what's your favorite weapon.
The RM-68 rifle. I've been wanted to launch that since way before Season 1. And it was never the time, like not for the original package. And then it's like, Season 1, can we slot it in? No. Season 2, it doesn't fit the narrative. Season 3, no, it's not high-tech enough. God damn it. Now Season 4 is here, and it's the day of reckoning. I get my favorite assault rifle in the game.
You get your favorite assault rifle. Okay, so I am looking forward to you talk about it in detail, because now you can. So let's take a look at first which new game modes are available for play. So obviously we have a new map, so Flashpoint will be there as a 24/7 playlist for both Conquest and Breakthrough. We have Team Deathmatch of Ages, Conquest of Ages, SMD Rush, and Friday, a new Friday Night Battlefield, which I can spoil will be said on the Flashpoint map. But as always, it's a new, exciting mode. Come check it out yourselves. I don't want to talk too much about that right now. But I think we also have a new thing for new players. Alexia, Discover Conquest. Can you?
Yeah. So we've added something. So if you are a rank 11 or lower player, you can play Discover Conquest in week 1, and I believe switch over to Discover Breakthrough as well in week 2. And we'll alternate between the two. But basically, players will be matched with other low-rank players, and they'll also be matched with AI backfill, so to give you a bit more of a opportunity to kind of explore our 2 game modes a bit more without the frenzy of playing with everyone.
If you are new and you don't want to be absolutely wrecked in a full-on multiplayer match, then I think this mode will help you out. You can still invite your higher-ranked level friends, if you want to, so they can help you out. But it's a perfect opportunity to learn the game. So go check that out. Do we want to talk about the new map, Flashpoint?
Yes,
pretty cool. First, this is the first map other than in Portal that was created by Ripple Effect. So first shout out to our Ripple Effect team. I think they did a very amazing job with this map.
Yes.
It started out as a small play space for Portal, but I think as a team we had so much fun playtesting it that we wanted to make it into a full-scale map. Jaime, do you want to talk more about what we can expect from
Yes, Flashpoint Season 4 map. From a design point of view, primarily it's going to be an exterior level, but with also some interior spaces. There will be several flank options and verticality. Besides, there is also a great team deathmatch or close combat quarters space in the center of the map, of the level, plus a massive underground tunnel. To be honest, this is next to the flag C. This is my favorite flag. This has been inspired by Savot, a map from Battlefield 4. This location is going to provide verticality for snipers, as well as the close quarters combat on its different vertical level. And the underground section, the underground tunnel, is going to provide cover from vehicles. It's going to be full infantry location, and that's going to be a path connected to another flag. So player will have like a couple of flags over there connected for infantry.
Fun with flags.
Fun with.
Okay. Alexia, what's your favorite area on the map, if any?
So I'm a big fan of close quarters combat, so the underground tunnel is kind of best for me. I'm less good with vehicles, more good with people.
Come on, I was going to say the underground tunnels too. Because I love my
You still
Everyone plays the whole map in the underground tunnel and nowhere else.
I love my meat grinders, and that's just the place to go, right?
At some points, it's like, oh wait, there is other areas of the map that are not underground because everybody just keeps fighting in the tunnel.
The main choke point, but also the map it will have a rectangular layout. So for all those helicopters or jet lovers, they will have some space and different locations in order to fly around. Because in some matches we realize like some players use a wildcat in the very center of the map and they start like farming those aircraft. So this one, since it's a rectangular one, it's going to be more friendly for helicopters, jets, etc.
Yeah, and it's quite a scaled map as well. Similar to, I think it's a bit bigger than Stranded, but maybe I'm wrong here. But it's quite small.
Yeah, maybe something between the Stranded and Spearhead.
Yeah, close quarters focused. I think it's a very exciting one myself. So looking forward to all of you checking it out soon. We don't have anyone from the narrative team here today, but what I thought was cool to share is that the map was originally set in California, but our narrative didn't really make sense to have the map there. So we started looking at different locations across the world that would be a very good fit for the map. And we landed in South Africa.
Yeah, so there's no one from the narrative team here, unfortunately, so I'm going to speak for them. But essentially, we felt that the map would be better suited in more of kind of nature reserve style space. So we decided to change the location of the map to be a place called Richtersveld in South Africa to give it more of that kind of natural feel.
Yeah, and I think that's also, as the story of 2042 progresses, we eventually end up there. as well. So excited for everyone to check it out. It's a beautiful space. And to close off the section for the new map Flashpoint, I think something again that I want to highlight, and we've already spoken about it, but it's the underground area. Like when you walk above ground, it's a nuclear reactor. It looks pretty neutral, looks cool, but there's so much underground. Like when you go in there, you can get lost. Is there anything more you want to share on that?
Yeah, definitely. What I really like about that underground area is also how well connected it is with the with the top level through zip lines. So that's gonna allow to all the infantry soldiers to a smooth transition between different areas in order to protect the 3 flags that are there next to each other. And also, it's a tunnel, dark tunnel.
There's also all these kind of tentacle-like ducts around, right, for you to be able to move about easily throughout that tunnel and get kind of around quickly. So that's quite cool. Yeah,
looking forward to seeing you all explore in there. Don't get lost. Make sure you can find your way outside again, because that's where the flags are. Cool. So before we go on to the new specialist, I'm going to take a sip of coffee.
I'm really glad you let us all know.
You're welcome, Alexia. I looked so handsome while drinking my sip of coffee. Cool. So Camila Blasco, new specialist. Jaime, do you want to talk about what we did here design-wise?
Yes, Camila Blasco is going to be the 4th recon in Battlefield 2042. Her main gadget is the Axis infiltration device. Basically, it's a signal jammer, but what does this mean? Basically, a signal jammer, it will have an area of effect, and when we and our friendly teammates are inside of this area of effect, that it's going to be like a circumference, we cannot get spotted by enemies, for example, Pike's scanner or Rao's trade or Casper's recon drone. Also, we cannot get locked on by launchers, for example, the Javelin, the Soft Lamp, nor vehicles with locks on. So that's it's going to decrease a lot of cognitive load or concerns about that. So we will be able to.
I think, the example you gave, she cannot be spotted by pretty much all the other recons we have. You mentioned all the other recons. So this is the recon that hides from the other recons.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to be a little bit breaking down the specialty because also it will affect to Boris sentry turret. Boris sentry turret will not be able to spot on us. So it's just basically all the recons and Boris.
Recons and Boris, poor Boris.
It's going to massively help with squad play as well, right? Because it doesn't just affect her, it affects friendlies who are inside that area too. So I think that's going to have some really nice team play about it.
For sure. And this will also apply to friendly vehicles. So we will be able to protect our tanks from javelins, soft land, from other enemy helicopters, etc. And each time an enemy dies inside of this area of effect, we will get a kill assist. That's going to be really cool to climb up in the scoreboard.
Yeah. Which we like doing a lot.
Yes. And that's from a friendly point of view, but what happens when an enemy is inside of this area of effect? They will see like an interference malfunctioning visual effect on their minimap. So that basically that will stop them from using it. They will be a little bit blind. And also from a Casper's point of view, they will not be able to use their sensor, or Pike will not be able to scan enemies when she's inside of that area of effect. So they will have to leave the area of effect.
Cool. What is your expectation for how she will fit into the current specialist roster?
Like my expectation is that since she also affects Boris, I'll having another case to pitch my idea that Boris turret should actually have like a GAU-8 Avenger machine gun mounted on top of it. So it should vaporize people. But that's my expectation. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool to have finally an answer, because based on the telemetry, we knew that there was no way to stop Pike's scanner, RAW, passive, Casper recon drone. So with this one, we are going to decrease a lot of concern. Like we will be able to play with a peace of mind, like, okay, all of these things, they are not going to spot me. I will not appear on the mini map. I will, if, for example, I can be playing as a sniper with Blasco on top of a hill, place down my signal jammer, and zero concerns about being spotted. I can snipe freely.
So did we specifically design her to be a counter to the other recons that already exist?
Yes, the main role for Blasco is an anti-recon.
Sorry, that still gets me every time. That is funny. Cool, but yeah, like Blasco is... personally, I'm very excited about...
Also, we have her trait, the passive, the
we forgot the trait almost.
Ambush expert.
Yeah.
Basically, this is going to allow Blasco to walk by next to Boris' turret. So the sentry turret is not going to shoot at Blasco. The Tooks, the proximity sensor, and claymores, we are not going to trigger them. So yes, we are going to be able to pass by a claymore, and the claymore will not detonate.
She basically doesn't alert any motion-based technology, which is pretty cool.
Great from flanking and stealth play.
It's very powerful. Also, why don't you like Boris?
Serious question, though.
Boris just wants to sit there with his turret, man. And like he just wants to have fun, but we don't.
And her voice lines are insanely kick-ass.
Yes.
To put out, so, yeah.
So both of you are Spanish, and I think we always do a very good job of making sure our characters sound authentic. How do you feel about,
That's more for him because I'm Spanish only for my family. But
Fake Spanish.
Fake Spanish. Yeah, fake Spanish.
I'm 100% Spanish. Yeah.
No, it's called it's a passport Spanish.
No, but the voiceover lines for Blasco are quite powerful. There is a mix of Spanglish. Some of them are in English, some of them are in Spanish. But the Spanish one, they have character and
Amazing.
are powerful.
Cool.
She's also just really cool. She looks cool. She acts cool.
Yeah.
Her trait's cool. She's just... I mean, I play more support class, but I just think she's really cool.
Also, her skins in the Battle Pass, they are really cool. The last one,
very cool.
Super cool.
with the helmet.
We'll touch upon the Battle Pass a little bit later, and then we can give some cool examples. Cool, I say cool a lot. Cool examples of cool things.
I think that was my fault. I said cool about 12 times, and I've
Alexia
brainwormed
is
you.
very cool.
Thanks, I'm really cool.
I can say a lot more adjectives, but they are not allowed. They'll get censored. So.
that's why we like having you on the podcast,
Not
Alex.
great.
Then we have, before we move on to the vehicle, is there anything else you want to share about Blasco? Oh, I actually do. I just asked myself the question. So, Blasco is the final specialist we're adding to the roster for 2042. So with her addition, we're happy with having a complete specialist roster. So when we move towards season 5, there will not be a new specialist.
We're up to 14 though, which
14.
is a pretty good number.
That is a very good number, well-rounded number.
Even
number.
Yeah. You could play a different one every day for 2 weeks. That's quite cool.
You can definitely hear you are in the engagement team. It's like, okay.
If you divide that number by 2, you have 7, a lucky number.
That is a good number.
There we go.
Also.
That's definitely especially in our mind when we made that decision. But yeah, full specialist roster. Lot of different things to try. I think there's enough gameplay or varied gameplay for everyone now to have fun with the way they want to play. That brings us to the new vehicle, the CAV-Brawler. Alexia, do you want to talk more about this?
Yeah, sure. So the Brawler is kind of the perfect vehicle for that close quarters combat and really good for squad play. Like it's got some open seats, which are perfect for like repairing and taking on enemies. But the cool thing about it is it's got a threat detection system that's able to highlight when you're being attacked. And alongside that, there's an active protection system and a close defense system. And it can take out enemy projectiles and targets close by with grenades. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you've got anything more you want to add, Jaime?
Yes, basically it's a great vehicle for squad and team play. The main purpose, the main goal for this vehicle is in order to push the objective, to capture the objective, and also to be able to keep longer alive. So it's going to be a good one in order to break the enemy front line and to push through that.
If you're the enemy, do not stand next to this vehicle.
No, that's
You're going to get blown up.
Good recommendation.
Great, and yeah, it's very good. It has a lot of seats, so for your squad to spawn on, and just mow down the enemies, go into their territory, throw some grenades. The defensive capabilities are very, very powerful with the active threat detection. So if you want,
it has the unique perk that even if the vehicle is full, you can still spawn on it.
Yep.
So that's unique to it.
That's cool.
A big differentiator to the map. So.
We will spawn outside of the vehicle, next to the vehicle, so we will save the leaving animation, the get out animation from the vehicle, so it's going to be more smooth for the gameplay.
And don't be scared to spawn outside the vehicle. I don't think you will be blown up by its own grenades.
That would be like the worst. Welcome, dead.
Spawn on my
by your pals.
I thought we were friends. Why are you doing this to me? Cool. Yeah, it's a very, very exciting new vehicle. It's very, very powerful. So good luck to our vehicle haters to try and take it down. It's a challenge I've set out for you. Weapons, Alex.
Oh boy.
Do you want to do it?
So I don't know where to begin. So basically the roster, it's separated into two, right? It's the RM rifle and the rest. So at least to me, that's how I set it up, right? So on the rest, you have the RPT machine gun. It's a very aggressive machine gun, high bullet velocity. It has very long combat ranges compared to the LCMG. You can kind of transform it a little bit using the plus menu, like change the rate of fire with the ammunition and so on. So I think it's going to be very versatile. It has a very good place in the meta, especially on the aesthetic part, because we have the other PK machine gun, and that's kind of older design, and this one is like super fresh out of the oven. Actually, our animators did a lot of research that 100% got them on a list, trying to find references as to how it works, the feeding mechanism and the latch and so on. So that one is really, really good to see. Then we have the AC-9. The AC-9, it's another competitor to the MP9 and the K-30. High rate of fire, close combat, like devastating at close combat quarters. But this one can use the plus menu to extend its range a little bit more than the MP9 and the K-30 can. So it's a little bit more adaptable. And it also happens to be very modern, which is like the theme for the Season 4 weapons.
Yep.
Except for the next one, the Super 500, which is the shorty shotgun. This one, it's not being manufactured in real life anymore, but it's a far cry to Battlefield 4 where we had it. So now it's coming back, and it's, again, incredibly powerful in the tunnels on Flashpoint. Yep. It's really, really good. And it also, I think it just goes for full circle and complements the kit for the people that like to play long range pretty good. So now they won't be sneaked up by Camila or Casper again, because they have something that they can reliably, quickly switch to and just annihilate them. And then we come to the RM rifle. And this is where Alex enters into podcast mode, and I can talk about it for 1 hour.
I'm going to time you. You got 3 minutes. Let's go.
3 minutes.
So 3 minutes. This rifle was super special because it was the one that, at least personally, I liked the most about the new squad weapon proposals. However, as a team, we understood that it was very likely not the candidate to be picked in real life, because it's a bullpup design and you need to retrain the muscle memory of your entire army, and that's not going to happen. However, when you see the rifle for the first time, you go into the American Psycho scene of the business cards. It's exactly that. You see the rifle and you go oh my God, the subtle coloring of it, the thickness of it. It even has a silencer, and it's not a regular silencer. Exactly like that. So it looks great. It has a lot of unique functionality, like the silencer is not only a suppressor device, it's also a muzzle brake, and it helps compensate recoil, and it moves completely with a reciprocating barrel. It's like super cool. Then the plastic cased ammunition, which we actually 3D printed in the office to have some recordings for the shells.
I remember that. Just like I remember seeing on Slack, like, does anyone know if we could? Has anyone got a machine available for us to print this? And there was like a whole thread of like, yeah, we could do this, we could do that, and it was like. It was hardcore. It wasn't just let's make it look like this. It's let's make it the same size, the same weight. Let's do it seriously.
Yeah, because we tried to get the real bullets, but they are very new, and getting a hand on them is like quite complicated. Mm-hmm. So we had to so what can we do? We have the measurement for them, so we can probably 3D print them in resin, and then it might sound pretty much like the real deal. So that's what we did.
Do you have them at your desk now? Bullets.
I do.
Because I always stop by Alex's desk because he just has a bunch of weapons laying there. Because he's the weapons designer. So I just, go there, play with them
any
a
other
bit.
world,
like
that
any
would
other
be weird.
world. Just a casual day.
Which is even more funny. To add even more into that, our audio designer, Daniel, he glued a coin to the bottom of the shells, because that's where the actual part, the impact casing is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he was playing around with it, and a coin got glued to his desk, and that coin is still to it.
If we ever have to leave the office
Exactly.
and get rid of those desks, it's like that one's
that's going to be like a dice memento, 10 years from now, oh yeah, I remember that coin.
That's the coin desk.
So yeah.
So Alex, one question about the suppressor that comes on the rifle automatically. How is that different from the other suppressor attachments we have for that weapon? You touched upon it a little bit, but just to make the distinction very clear.
So we're doing the same as the hybrid attachments that we did before, which is, so it carries positives from both the suppressor and the muzzle brake, but the negatives are double. So not as in amount, but in impact. So the percentage of the negatives for the muzzle brake are going to be way higher. So the horizontal recoil gets kind of messy. Other than that, it has an integrated canted sight on all scopes. So you can use your plus menu to switch scope, and you will always be able to switch to an integrated iron sight on the side, which is phenomenal. It's just such a cool weapon, man.
Have we had that before for 2042?
We have not. We have.
So that's new.
We have a canted scope, which you can put in other scopes.
Yep.
It's like a 6x, 5x, and then you can cant to the side. But
So
this
how does it work? You just kind of switch?
yeah, you angle the rifle 30 degrees to the right. But this one can do it with any scope, which is very unique to this weapon only.
Awesome. I have been having a lot of fun with this weapon in the playtest. Jaime, Alexia, which weapon are you looking forward to the most?
I already told you that, man.
Super 500 shotgun.
Yeah, I'm into the Super 500 shotgun. I think I like to run in the middle of all the people and often die. But when I don't die and I run out of bullets, I then need something cool and quick to shoot. And yes, I'm a big fan.
And now you can run double shotgun, so...
It could just be shotguns
Double
forever.
fun.
We should make a tag, shotguns forever, and then that's just for me.
Let's do it.
Friday Night Battlefield, double shotgun.
Double shotgun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
really
very
cool.
cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, in my case, the AC9. I really like to be in the middle of the battlefield with the heat of the combat. So I really like to run around all there. So a super compact SMG with high mobility and high rate of fire. I'm looking forward to trying that one and comparing it to the MP9 or K30. Let's see how well this one performs.
Yeah, it better perform well, Alex. No pressure.
No pressure.
And another cool moment that I wanted to share, at least have you folks watch out for, is the gameplay trailer. If you haven't watched it, there's this moment where Blasco picks up the Super 500 shotgun and shoots an enemy down one of the holes in the new map. I thought that was a very cool moment.
Spartan meme stocks going...
Basically, yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
Go
that's
to the
one.
massive underground tunnel.
And we have new vault weapons as well. Alex, do you want to mention the new vault weapons?
It's just the SVD and the Type 88 LMG in this patch.
And which one are you more excited about?
The SVD, definitely.
Why?
I'm usually a marksman guy, so...
Okay, there we go. Great. So we have two options now. This will be a very serious decision for the 4 of us. We can go to Cookie of the Week or go to the new gadget. And I'm going to let you folks decide.
Cook of the week.
Cookie of the Week.
Let's
He
do
doesn't
the-
know Cookie of the Week.
Let's do the gadget
Somebody has
first.
not been
Let's do the
listening.
gadget first.
Oh, man. Gadget first.
Yeah,
okay.
gadget first.
So we have a new gadget. SPH explosive launcher.
Yes.
Jaime, you're the gadget man.
AKA a sticky grenade launcher.
Sticky grenade launcher.
So basically, we will be able to shoot 2 projectiles in one casing before reloading. This projectile will have flat trajectory up to 50 meters before dropping off. And the cool thing about this is like if we direct impact in the enemy's body, the projectile will get stick to that, and it's going to be quite fun to see enemies running around with a stick projectile attached to their body. So
when they think they're safe and they run to their friends, like, okay, let's go. And then,
yes,
okay.
come here, friend. Yeah.
When you say the trajectory, so up to 50 meters, it just shoots
Flat. Yeah, exactly.
Straight? Okay.
Straight flat. Exactly. And then as of 50 meters, we will have to compensate a little bit the distance with the sight that is included in the gadget. Oh, first off, this gadget is going to be a class gadget only for assaults, so it will be only used.
Yeah,
for...
let's talk about that a little bit, because obviously we brought the return to the class system end of January.
Yes.
So now we have class specific gadgets, and that means when we release new gadgets, some of them will be for specific classes. So in this case, we made a new assault gadget, the sticky launcher, or the
We wanted to add more variety to the class assault gadgets. In this case, we had something more offensive because we already have the armor plate with the and those ones. So yeah, we wanted to provide something else that is going to be useful in the short mid distance. Yep. So yeah, we will be able to use this one if we are deploying with McKay, Sundance, Dozer, or Science.
Or Camila.
No, Camila's a recon. But yeah.
Damn it.
Alex is trying to change
Yeah,
the whole.
Alex, you're too late. We've made the decision. She is a recon.
If you
now.
say it in the podcast, it must be true.
So please allow me to.
But yeah, so it's something. It's different than what we did before, because up to season 3, before the return to the class system, all the gadgets were available to all classes.
All the specialists, yes.
Sorry, all specialists. Yes, sorry.
But this gadget is not only about killing enemies. It's also about we can use it as a way to have the area control or map control. For example, if we are fighting a couple of enemies around the corner, we can shoot quickly the 2 first projectiles. So that's going to stop the enemies to getting close to that corner. So we will get some time to change or to move to another cover. It's going to be also useful for that map control. And of course, the way to counter this class gadget is going to be either using Iris shoot down device or the vehicle's APS, the anti-projectile system.
Sounds like an exciting new addition to the battlefield. Gonna have a lot of fun. Just maybe shooting at enemies, not detonating it, and see where they go. try and...
Oh no, it's stuck in the wall again.
Oh no, yeah, me and my aim. Oh, okay, wall again. Yeah, but to reiterate, so this is a class-specific gadget for assaults. So we had some questions before when we just released the Return to the Class System update. Where is my med pen? The med pen is also only for assault.
Yes.
And now assault gets a new sticky gadget. So it's going to be exciting. And now I want cookies. Like, you made the decision to do the gadget first. Shall we do Cookie of the Week?
Sure.
I expected more
full on
excitement.
disclaimer.
Hooray! I think I'm confused because I don't see any cookies. But then maybe that's because cookies in England is a very different thing to what we would say everywhere else. Anyway.
No, these are not
That's
cookies.
a specific kind of biscuit, a cookie. But we can't get into that again anyway, because then I'll be arguing about scones and all sorts, and it'll
That's
be a problem.
chunky cookie.
We can't open scone gate
Oh
yet.
dear.
But these
breakfast item.
exactly.
These look great.
But these are okay. So we're kind of cheating, but because they're cupcakes, and I have to look up the name.
Catalans.
Yes. So
Maybe
Jaime,
not
you
for-
must be familiar with these cookies.
With the word a little bit. There is a
gonna
northeast
cut
province in Spain called Catalonia. But we were looking that one on Wikipedia.
Yeah, the lore of the cookie.
The Catalan's cookie. But
Doesn't say anything.
there is a
story.
50% of probability that is related to Catalonia, to the northeast province, but we don't really know yet.
Have you ever had this cookie?
No.
So, okay.
Is this, I don't know, do any of us know? I'm going to ask the question and maybe no one knows. Is it a traditional Swedish thing? Maybe. Okay, it's a
bit.
maybe.
Like,
I mean,
Oh, it's very sweet.
if someone wants to try something that is from Spain as well, I would recommend or suggest torrijas. So that's a good one.
do you want to talk? What
Yeah,
is
it's basically bread soaked in milk with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar, and then you fry it on the frying
Oh,
pan.
man, that sounds... Can we order that for next time?
We have
Am
something
I
in
dumb, or
England.
doesn't that take eggs too?
There is one version with eggs and another
Okay.
one with milk.
Okay,
I
I use both.
I
I am not.
I'll
I
take
am
it
not
all.
kidding. I take both.
Okay. No. I mean, both of them are also doable.
There's like a thing in England called bread pudding, which sounds somewhat similar, but it's kind of like a weird, like, I don't want to say like an old people pudding, but it's an old people dessert. But it sounded somewhat similar. But that's got like sultanas and raisins and stuff and a lot of cinnamon.
But what's the verdict about this cookie of the week? How do we feel about this? I think this is actually very, very tasty.
It's super
Yeah,
tasty.
one of my favorites so far, by far.
It's a bit like a Bakewell tart. You had a Bakewell tart?
What do you call the glazing on the top?
Icing?
Icing?
Yeah, the icing.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
There we go. I like icing. So.
I like it's got a jammy center.
But I think the last time that I was here, I had another one, and it was pretty good. So this one actually, it's tremendously more moist than the last one, because that the other one was like, the anti-humidity.
Oh, was it a
that
little
the
bit
dry
dry?
one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We couldn't talk anymore then. I remember. It was good though.
You basically had to rehydrate yourself like by a Gatorade or something after that cookie. This one is like really good.
Do we
Listener.
have more? Yeah, okay, I want more of this.
Let me describe.
We're gonna
this
fight
to
over
you.
the last one later.
No, you can.
Because we're talking about it and we haven't really explained what it is.
Oh.
So it's like pastry, sort of, crumbly, and inside it's like a bit cakey, and then there's jam, and then on top there's like a pink icing. It's very nice. That's
I
it.
think you should do a completely separate cookie podcast, Alexia. The way
I
you
actually, do you know what? I
describe it-
actually really, really think that would be a great idea.
I think it would.
I have a lot to say about biscuits and cookies and sweet treats. So
There we go.
if you'd like to listen, send me a message and some money, and I'll make it happen.
Okay, the idea is planted. Let's talk Battle Pass, because we have a new season. We have a new Battle Pass. What's in it?
Cool. So a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of cool
So as usual, 100 tiers of content, 30 free and 70 premium. We've got some really cool new skins coming. Lots that kind of incorporate the season 4 kind of green theme, which I really like. I'm a big fan of the more kind of out there cosmetics. I know not everyone is, but I like it a lot. So there's like a super cool skin for Irish coming. There's a really nice skin for the Brawler. But on top of kind of all the new content, we've also made a few sort of quality of life changes to the Battle Pass system and how it works. So from season 4, from 4.0, we have changed things a little bit so that you can now see previous week's weekly missions on the weekly missions widget. So if you've completed everything in the current week, but you have some stuff left over from previous weeks, you can see that when you're in game or on the front end. We've added some clarity to the weekly mission screen, so it's easier, and also the weekly missions widget, it's easier to see now how close you are to unlocking the bonus mission and how close that is to expiring. And we've added clarity around where you're at and what week a mission's coming from. So we've tried to do a bunch of changes that increase understanding of how it's all working.
And since the Battle Pass is something that your team works on, how do you feel overall? It's like the 4th season that we have a Battle Pass. So how do you feel overall about where we are with them right now?
I'm really pleased with it. We've had a lot of feedback from people that they really like the Battle Pass. It's nice. I mean, Battle Pass can be a polarizing thing for some people.
Yep.
But people seem happy with the way that we've done things. People enjoy the weekly missions. There's obviously a bunch of people who are hardcore and amazing and finish the weekly missions as soon as they come out on a Tuesday. And that's awesome. And they want more. But it's a fine balance between making sure that there is enough content for everyone and making sure that people don't feel overwhelmed with how much there is to do as well. So I think we've hit a nice sweet spot from the data. It seems like we have a good spread of completion rates. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going. And it's easier every time now to make them because we know what we're doing and we're happy.
Fourth one, so we're happy. Awesome. Thank you, Alexia.
No worries.
Shout out to Wei for achieving like tier 1 mastery on all the guns and completing the whole battle pass like 6 hours after we release it.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to laugh, and while Alexia was explaining the battle pass, like Jaime was totally zoned out, like thinking about the cookie, what it seemed like. He just sat there, like he was in another dimension. Like you obviously can't see it if you're listening to this, but it was.
I can recommend the cookie. Catalan was so good.
He had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. That's really what it looked like. But yeah, I think that's so that's an overview of what we have that's new in the season. But obviously, the season itself launches with an update where we have a whole other set of changes. Mm-hmm. So I would like to go over some of them because every update we keep improving the game. Let's start with the character balance for Liz. Jaime?
Yes, regarding the Liz balance pass, we detected through our telemetry that you were having a lot of fun, and so we called the fan police to stop this. But no, joking aside, we apply a little balance pass to Liz in order to provide more healthy meta. Basically, some of the details, we reduce the maximum range, the boost speed, among other parameters, in order to provide balance to the force.
So fun for Liz players has been reduced by 20%, but fun for vehicle players has increased by 20%.
Yeah, fun for everyone else.
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah. Let's have fun together.
But and I think worth just talking about here is we just did a major update where we brought back classes. So Liz is an engineer. Suddenly, engineers destroy all the vehicles. So the gameplay and the meta has shifted a lot. So we need to keep making balance changes as we see that play out. And I think Liz is probably the character where we had the most feedback on, that maybe she was a bit too powerful. So I think this should bring her more in line with the other engineer specialists.
And I think we have to always be reactive, right, to feedback. Like we don't want to ever be the studio who kind of makes these decisions in a silo and that's it, that we're done. Like we need to always evaluate as we have new maps, new weapons, new players even. Are we still on the right track? And it's great that we're able to tweak and change when we feel we need to.
And we always appreciate our players reaching out to us and giving us that feedback. So the update is in your hands tomorrow. Let us know how it feels. We do have further balance changes planned for the future. We're always reviewing. But that's it for today on Liz. I think we also have a change for the Claymore.
Yes. For the Claymore, right now, you will be able to see like the explosion. It has a forward-facing explosion exclusively. It's no longer detonating 360 degrees. So that's gonna be a good thought detail for the Claymore.
Yep. Then we have an end of round change. We made some improvements there, Alexia.
Yeah. So some people may know this, some people may not. A while ago, I reached out on social media and asked for people's thoughts around end of round. And I got a load of really awesome feedback from you all. So thank you very much for engaging with me on that. And from that feedback and from generally us getting used to it and playing with it, we've decided to make a few changes. And we've got some coming in 4.0 and some coming in 4.1 and 4.2. And we can talk more about the later ones later. But specifically for 4.0, we're trying to improve the flow clarity. So making sure that you as a player know what's happening next. So, for example, if you're playing Breakthrough and you're an attacker and we make it so that you switch sides to a defender, we make it clear in the bottom of the screen that you're switching sides and how long until that happens. So We're also minimizing the risk of accidentally exiting by mistake. So by pressing B and being gone completely, we've got a prompt now. And we've changed the round outcome screen we've updated the visuals a little bit to better align with the rest of end of round. But yeah, there's some really cool 4.2 changes coming, which I don't want to talk too much about yet. But watch this space for more great end of round improvements that I think people will really like.
I think the the breakthrough one you mentioned is we actually had a lot of feedback from players. They just had no idea that they were about to change sides.
Yeah, exactly. So we'd find that maybe people were quitting at the end of like playing as an attacker or a defender, for example. And then for everyone else who switched sides, the game didn't have as many people in because they went back to matchmaking because they weren't aware that we were switching sides. So what we did back then was to just turn off the switching sides. But by improving the clarity, we hope that people will see what's happening next and that we can have that switch over back again.
Yeah. So I think this, as you already mentioned, this change came from player feedback. The first iteration, which was somewhere last year, like it didn't work out as we expected.
Yeah.
So now we're making another change.
And continue to feedback, right? Like
Yep.
we love hearing from you. So yeah, happy to hear.
I have a note here that says prone. Jaime.
Yes.
Prone.
Please elaborate.
Elaborate.
Yeah, there has been a couple of soldier mobility, soldier experience improvements. One of them is like the prone behavior on steep slopes. I personally picked this one because I really love when a video game is responsive. By responsiveness, I mean like when a video game can keep up with my inputs, with my movements. So this is like the right direction in order to provide that smoothness, smooth as butter, when running around with a soldier, proning, crouching, jumping. So I think it's a good detail as well.
Silky smooth. But I think a call out to make here is that we have continuously been making improvements to general movement. And I think if you compare it now to where we were a few updates ago, it just feels so much smoother.
Yes.
And it's these little changes that we keep adding with every update that really improve the gameplay experience for soldier gameplay or character gameplay.
Indeed.
Another cool change we made is the faster insertion flow. So this is another one we had a lot of feedback on. When you start to go into the match, it takes a while before you actually start playing.
Yeah.
So can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so the modes team have reduced the time it takes to get into the match. I think I'm right in this, and please cut it out if I'm not right, but they've also made it so that you can make more changes whilst in the insertion flow to your customization, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That
So
was
that's
another
a good
feedback item we
addition.
had.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you were making changes and you were dumped into the match, but you weren't done yet making those changes. So it's smoother, and we give you more time to make the changes you want before jumping into the match, which I think is awesome. And then we also have XP changes, I think that we should highlight.
Yeah, for sure. So we know a lot of players have been calling out for Portal to have kind of more parity with All Out Warfare. So we're reintroducing this idea of like a Portal moderate XP. So it's a progression mode, which basically means that experiences that have backfilled AI and no other changes other than the map list can get full progression. And so mastery up to rank 12, along with ribbons XP enabled and weekly missions enabled instead of the usual restricted XP that they have.
Yeah, and this is something we had a ton of feedback on, and I think something also that flew completely under the radar is that a while ago we actually enabled full ribbon progress again for a solo and co-op.
Yep,
which
did.
is awesome because we had a lot of players that do like playing solo co-op, but they, again, like you just mentioned, for Portal and All Out Warfare, they didn't have parity in the amount of XP they could earn.
The only difference, just to mention, with solo co-op is you don't get progress towards weekly missions, but you do have, full ribbons still.
Okay, I guess someone called the fun police again.
I know. We don't want you guys to have too much of a good time on your own.
Okay, but those are good changes as well.
Yeah.
I think it should just overall make it easier for players to understand what they can earn in which game mode.
Yeah, and give them more variety, right?
Give them more variety. So that, I think that's a a nice overview of some of the highlights that I think we brought in season 4 in terms of changes and improvements. Anything else any of you would like to share before we go towards the end of the episode?
No, I'm just super excited for another season to launch, right? I feel like we've been getting a lot of feedback that the game's in a really good place. We're really happy as well.
Yep.
I'm really excited for you guys to have another season to experience and more in future as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how you get on with the content.
Yeah, I think as we sit here as a group, we're in season 4. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Time flew by.
It's been a year. We've been doing live service for a year.
Yeah, what the hell? It went so fast. But I think it's been a very fun journey for us as a team. And like if you look at the total package we have right now with 4 seasons worth of content in the game, new weapons, maps, gadgets, specialists, it's vehicles. There's so much cool stuff and all the changes and improvements that we layered on top of those seasonal updates. So folks, if you're listening, you haven't played in a while, definitely come check it out. Classes are back as well. There's so much to look forward to. So we hope you'll join us on the battlefield. So with that, Season 4 11th Hour drops tomorrow. I think the update goes live at, I think it's 10 UTC in the morning, and then the seasonal progression goes live at 12 UTC. And if I'm wrong on those numbers by an hour here or there, please forgive me.
I don't forgive you.
Never.
Just so you know.
But yeah, Alex, Jaime, and Alexia, thank you so much for being here again today. The first one that we did with three guests, I had a lot of fun.
We should probably mention that the reason there's mainly 3 guests is because I literally flew in this morning. Tom messaged me a couple of days ago and was like, "Oh, you're coming to Stockholm? Do the podcast." And I rushed here from the airport. So thank you very much for that really stressful morning. I really appreciate it.
The pressure is on. No pressure at all. Cool. So, folks, next week we will be back with a Season 4 Q&A. So the patch notes are already in your hands right now. The update goes live tomorrow. If you have any questions for any of the Season 4 content, next week we will be back to answer them for you. As always, send your questions and feedback to podcast@battlefield.com. And on socials, reach out to us through #InsideBattlefield. And that's it for today. Another great episode. Thank you, and PTFO.
Bye.
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 Bye.